We're talking to Altrincham Assistant Manager Neil Sorvel. The Robins' next assignment is a very tough game down on the south coast in Devon against Torquay United, who are the league leaders in the National League. Neil, this is a very, very tough assignment, clearly, one of the most difficult games of the season. But if there's a good time to play them, for us, now's as good as any.
Yeah, always a difficult game, isn't it, going away to top of the league. You know, the experienced side, experienced manager there who's done well at a number of different levels. But like you say, we're in good form at the minute. It's something we're looking forward to. All the lads are relishing the opportunity to go and pit themselves against the top of league side. So we'll look forward to going there on Tuesday and hopefully showing a good account of ourselves.
And it will give us, I mean, we're clearly going very well in the league at the moment, but it will give us a good benchmark as to how much we've progressed.
Yeah, I think, you know, we've steadily found our feet. Hey, look, don't get me wrong, every game's tough. Every game's almost an arm wrestle, isn't it, in terms of really tight. Thought maybe on Tuesday night, that'd have been our first opportunity maybe to win by, you know, convincing margin. Maybe 3 or 4, it wasn't to be, but that's the nature of the league. Every game's going to be tough. There's no gimmies, there's no easy games. But that's what you want, a really competitive league, and we're showing up well at the minute.
And for a team from the north of England to go down to Devon on a Tuesday night, it's very difficult for every team in the league. But for us as a part-time team, it does present 1 or 2 additional challenges. Yeah,
it's not ideal, is it? But you know, the way it's gone with them still being in the trophy, you know, you have to get on with it. I think logistically there's been a few issues with lads getting off work and whatnot, but that's been, you know, sorted out. So it just means us having probably a shorter stop than we would have liked, but it is what it is. You know, the difficulties with the travel, you just got to get on with it.
And in terms of what you've seen of Torquay United, in terms of your preparation and analysis for this game, they clearly deserve to be where they are, and they've had a superb season.
Yeah, they've done really well. Really positive, energetic side with a lot of attacking threats. So we know it's, you know, going to be a good test of us. See where we're at in terms of our level, but you know, I think so far we've competed well against the teams who've been up around the top of the table. You know, you just look at the Stockport games in and around Christmas period where we've equipped ourselves really well. So yeah, we'll go there with every confidence.
And we've just made another signing, Joe Piggott, who had a very successful loan spell with us a couple of years ago, and that's an exciting addition to the squad.
Yeah, good. Pleased to have him back. Like I say, when he was here 2 seasons ago, he'd done really well, and then unfortunately, you know, he just found his feet with us. He'd scored the hat-trick, hadn't he, at Curzon, and then, you know, he had the back injury. It's kept him out for a while. So he's had 1 or 2 injuries. He's just finding his feet, getting back. You know, he's trained today. He's been really positive, chomping at the bit, wanting to get involved, probably more than he should be doing at this point. But yeah, going to be a bit of a, you know, slow recovery for him over the next couple of weeks, bit by bit. But I think he'll be a really exciting addition to the squad.
And I assume he's a player that you've been keeping an eye on, you and Phil, over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I remember seeing him season before last. I'd watched a couple of games at Liverpool. He had under-23s, and they played Wigan one Sunday, and he come on in that game. Funny enough, who did he have at the back? They had Hoiver and Vandenberg, and he didn't half bully him about and shoved him about. So it's really impressive performance from him in the last 30 minutes when he came on. Hey, look, we know what he's capable of when he came here. Fitted in really well, good personality, good lad around the group. So, really glad to have him back.
And in terms of the season today, it's going really, really well. And Tuesday night was a fantastic performance against Wealdstone. And I think everybody, players, management, fans, backroom staff, absolutely buzzing with the level and quality of display.
Yeah, I think you look at that one. It was pretty convincing. It reminded me quite a bit of the Maidenhead game here, which we won that one 2-0 as well. I have always got a criticism. We should have won by more goals. We should have been more clinical, and we'll need to be, because in terms of chances, we aren't going to create 1,000,001 chances every game as you've seen across the season. But it's good at the minute that we're scoring more goals. I think we're averaging 2 a game the last 6 games, so that's a real positive. In terms of an attacking sense, probably letting 1 or 2 too many, over the last maybe 5 or 6. So we showed that up on Tuesday night. I thought we looked really convincing and really strong all over the pitch on what was a difficult surface to play on.
And an indication of how tight the league is, and B, how things can change very quickly, is when we went to Wealdstone on the 7th of November and they beat us 1-0. They went 3rd in the table on that day and subsequently beat Halifax on the Tuesday and went 2nd. We were 20th at that time. So it's quite amazing what has happened since then.
In any league, I mean, you have to look back to last season in the North League, and I think we went to Curzon, didn't we, on the Boxing Day, was it? And I think if we'd have lost that game, we'd have dropped into the bottom 3, and then before you know it, you're in the playoffs. So if you put a run together, you can see how quickly it can turn your season round. I think we had that good little run, didn't we, after the Wealdstone game, won 5 out of the 6. It propelled you right up the table. So we just got to keep chipping away at it, keep trying to get as many points on board as we can. Because like I say, we're ahead of teams at the minute, aren't we, in terms of the games we've played, and so we just need to keep chipping away, getting them points on the board, and hopefully we can stay up there for as long as possible.
We had a big space of injuries in the early part of the season. Has that negative turned into a bit of a positive in some ways? Because of that, we had to go out and bring players in either on loan or permanently. And now what we've got, and players are coming back to fitness, is an exceptionally strong squad. Yeah,
it is. Just prevents a few difficulties at training when we're training with about 26 lads at the minute. But look, I think it's as strong as we've ever looked. Someone like think of someone like Alty, who's come in on loan and made that permanent. That was a real positive. A real positive to the group. He's done exceptionally well. You only have to look at his highlights reel. I think Mark's put that together. He looks like Vieira, doesn't he? Looks absolutely frightening. So yeah, that was a positive. I think, like I say, we know we've got a good group. We were happy going into the season with what we had. The loans who've come in have done well for us and have done a good job. The 2 lads from Crewe both did well. So it's been to do as well as we've done in terms of the number of injuries we've had. Hopefully we'll have a better luck now going into kind of the second half of the season, and we won't have so many injuries, because it felt like the first 3 or 4 months, every game or every training session someone got injured. So to be in the position we're in shows the quality we've got at the squad at the minute.
And one noticeable improvement in terms of the way we've strengthened is that at the minute we've pretty well got cover in every position. We've almost got 2 players who are good in each position.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's the objective when you're putting a squad together. Maybe the one position, I suppose you could argue we're light on is a 10 spot, but then you've got the likes of Cozzy who can play in there, more than capable. Dan Mooney's played in there, I'm sure. Torquay can play in there as well. We could go with 3 in midfield and play Ali a bit higher if we needed to. So yeah, a lot of strength in depth, fully covered all over the pitch. So yeah, we're looking the part at the minute, but you just got to look at the next game. You can't look too far ahead. Like I say, just keep chipping away at them points and get yourself into a comfortable position.
We're sitting in a playoff position at the moment. We know that we've played more games than everybody else, but even on the points per game table, we're still sitting in a good position. So there's a real opportunity there for the remaining games of the season.
Yeah, hopefully. On points per game, I think we'd be just above mid-table, wouldn't we, at the minute? But we'd have took that, wouldn't we, at the start of the season? Like I say, for me at the minute, it's getting as many points on board as we can. Our objective was to stay in the league. Let's clear that objective first, and then once that's done, we can start looking beyond that.
Clearly, we've got a challenge with the pitch at the moment, but I thought it did okay on Tuesday night. I don't think we were able to play the football we wanted to exactly, but we still were able to knock it around well.
Yeah, I think we didn't go back into that far side as much as we usually do when we had JJ here. It felt like we'd tell the lads to come out of it and then they'd go back into it. But no, it's difficult, isn't it? It was a difficult surface to play on, but I thought we played some outstanding football on there. I'd seen the comment from their manager after the game saying, they got us here for a reason. I don't think, we're the side who probably play the more football, so I think you'd like to think it'd hinder us more than it would a more direct side. But look, we mixed and matched. We went forward a bit quicker when we needed to into the front lads. We've been working on that a little bit in training in terms of the ball retention. If we've got to go longer, I thought we did that well on the night, and we played some really good stuff as well. Like I say, the only downside for me was that maybe we should have won that a little bit more convincingly, 3 or 4 goals probably.
We're finishing games very, very strongly. How much of that is down to the level of the fitness of the players, and how much is down to the way that we play?
Yeah, you could add, it's an interesting one, isn't it? That we have the GPS on the lads in terms of track how the distances they're covering. But for me, sometimes you got to look at, the nature of the game. It's not always consistent. It might be an end-to-end game whereby they're covering more distances, but more like a basketball game, or it might be a game where you're sitting in or you've got an opponent penned in. So these are all probably factors that can affect the amount of distances some of our players run. So it's important you factor these things in. But I think in terms of the way we play, if we're reliable in possession and we play our usual game, I'd like to think we more than dominate possession, or have our fair share. I think you seen it at Barnet last week. It was pretty evident that a number of their lads were blowing. As the game progressed, is that down to us having a lot of the ball and working them? Yeah, you'd like to think that, but I think we've got a fit group of players. I've never looked at us and thought, even last season against full-time teams, that they looked fitter than us. I think we always finish strong. They put a shift in training. We try and train at intensity, even though it's only the 2 times a week. We're out there for 2 hours. And I think all these factors help us.
That's the thoughts of Altrincham Assistant Manager Neil Sorvel on the season to date, and looking forward to Tuesday night's big long trip to league leaders Torquay United.